Well. Look who's back, Jack. It's Titus with the MVM Show going solo today. We'll be getting guests on pretty soon. Actually, I'm recording this pretty late at night because I missed the Monday upload. Been doing late shifts, so I really just haven't had time to do it. So I'm going to get this one done, get it edited, get it out, answer some questions that you guys have had, and do a little review on my 28 gauge, how I liked it this season. Quite a few of you have asked. First off, just getting this episode going. Back on YouTube. Glory. Back on YouTube, which, again, I say this, and I say this lightly. By the way, someone's asked what was in this jar. If you're watching on YouTube, this jar that sits up here. This is full of mallard drake curls. And there's a lot in here. I think that's one season. But anyways, back on YouTube, you get a warning, and then you get 3 strikes, and your channel's completely deleted. And this, I had a warning. Let's see here. I had a warning, which is not really a big deal. I got that probably, I don't even know, 6 months ago or something. I don't know if that's permanently stays on your channel. A strike doesn't stay permanently on your channel. If you're a good little boy or girl and you do what you're supposed to do and don't hurt YouTube's feelings, then they will take that strike away. I've never had a strike. Now, again, I have 2 channels. I have Mid-Valley Mercenaries and I have the MVM Show. If you're listening to this right now, you're obviously on the MVM Show on YouTube if you're watching it. And I got a warning, and I can't remember what episode that was. It was like 190 something, I think. And then, which was quite a ways ago, because this is episode 230. I mean, that's a lot of episodes ago. And so then, and somewhere in the 130s, I did an episode with my buddies up camping. 3 other buddies. I think it was Travis, Andy, and Matt. Andy and Matt had never been on the show. And they stinking deleted that one because one of our topics was free speech. Go figure. Free speech. And they delete that one. So now that one's permanently gone. They gave me a strike. That was a long time ago, like 10 months ago. Gave me a strike and did not allow me to upload to YouTube for a week. And I think it was yesterday or the day before, we just uploaded the one about getting the new boat. Thank you, everybody, for sending in messages, DMs, emails about the boat. Can't wait to show you guys as well. I really can. I'm really excited to show you guys. Actually, we go, I don't know if I said this on the last one, but we go pick it up March 25th. We'll be home with it March 26th. And then, honestly, I'm hoping within a week we can record the video of that with all the details, all the goodies, all the things that we wanted. That video is kind of, I don't know how I'm going to do that video. I haven't decided because technically I'm just trying to do a walkthrough of the boat. But at the same time, it might be a little bit more personal than our gator tail, because when we did our gator tail video, it was kind of like we were doing it really professional in a way, given all the details. So something you could almost use if you were the company. This one might be a little bit more, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I was thinking about doing this a little bit more like a comparison type thing. Like, this is why we had this, because we didn't have it on this boat. And it's nothing against gator tail. Again, we love gator tail. I very, very much so like gator tail. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in the future. I'm definitely not going to burn any bridges anywhere, because unless I've been there, done that, I'm not going to say. I mean, so trying it out. Really excited to work with KP. And I think we've been in quite a bit of contact, more than I was with anyone else. So anyways, back to the deletion of that. So I guess May 20th, that strike goes away, and then I don't have to worry about something happening. Because what I'm concerned about is that video's been on there for so long. Why in the world did they come back so far down the road and delete it? And I appealed it, and they rejected it. So that one's gone. Now, you can listen to it on Spotify. You can listen to it Apple Podcast, any of that stuff, but it's just on the YouTube channel. So anyways, someone said, hey, if the YouTube channel goes down, I'll subscribe to a new one. It's like, man, honestly, it grows really slow. And it's cool. It's another little avenue to make a little bit of extra money. It's not much, hardly. I don't even know, $10 or something. It's, for me, it's not even worth the effort that it takes to get it up there. And it's just not it just don't mean as much to me because I get a lot more downloads on the audio version. So anyways, that's that. I beat that horse half to death. So now over to how I like my 28 gauge this season. I loved it, but I will say I don't think it's for everybody. To be honest with you, I just have my own agenda behind my 20 gauge. One, it's quieter, and you guys are gonna think I don't know how many of you are gonna think I'm absolutely insane and weird for saying this, but I don't like everybody and their grandma. If there's not a lot of guys at the refuge that day, excuse me, and we're smacking some ducks, I don't want everybody on the absolute opposite side of the refuge hearing me shoot, because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of shot chasers out there on California duck hunting refuges. I'll just tell you that right now, because I've had really good hunts, and I know sometimes it's people just scouting and being able to be there the next time. I get it. We're nothing special either. So, but I do know that guys definitely do a lot of shot chasing. I mean, my goodness, you got tooling ninjas for that matter. Guys that don't even bring decoys, anything out, and they'll set up just far enough out from you to keep their distance and then shoot your swing birds or whatever. You know what I mean? That's just what they do. Ran into those guys a lot. There's also guys that shot chase. And so, like say if you hunt on a Wednesday and you're doing all the shooting, you don't hear no one else, which doesn't mean that no one else is shooting. I've heard people say, man, we were the only ones shooting on the refuge. You know how many times I've heard that? That doesn't mean you're the only one killing birds, because someone could be on the other side with the 20 gauge and 2 3/4 load, and they just ain't making much noise. And maybe when you're shooting, they're shooting, you don't hear them. So I've heard that so many times. In fact, I've been hunting the same refuge with people. I'm like, man, you guys never shot once, huh? I'm like, dude, I got my limit. So they never heard us shooting. So I guess to be quieter and not let everybody hear on the whole refuge where I'm shooting when you're out there banging. Not that I ever shot 3.5-inch loads, but if you are and it sounds like a bazooka going off and you're shooting a box of shells, which, to be fair, doesn't mean that's a place to go, because if guys are shooting at them 80 yards passing, it's not even where the ducks want to be, then you might be wasting your time anyway. So anyways, for the 20 gauge, I got it because it was quieter. And I want to say the challenge of it, I don't know if I thought about that actually tonight before I record. I was thinking about that. Is that really a reason? I don't want to say I got 20 gauge for a challenge, because you want to kill the birds ethically, cleanly. And I guess I don't really know. Maybe I don't know. I just feel like that word challenge is not the proper verbiage for why I wanted a 28 gauge. Because it wasn't for kick. I mean, honestly, I wasn't worried like, oh, my shoulder hurts so bad after duck hunting with my 12 gauge. I never thought that ever one time. But I've just wanted one for 3 years now. At this point in time, it's been 3 years, a little over actually. So anyways, I love it. I wish in my hunt stats thing, Elliot's freelance hunt stats, which is going to change over to that episode if you guys listen to it. That's going to change over to North American Waterfowler. I wish it had a tab in there, and that's something I'm actually going to text them. I know it costs money to put stuff in there, but I would like to have it for each hunt, which gauge shotgun you use. So 12, 20, 28, 16, whatever it is that you use, 410. I'd like to see him add that in there, and because I'm pretty sure I'm right on this, but I don't want to count. I can actually go back and look, because whatever I shot, I put it in the notes in the hunt stats for this season, and I know for a fact I shot my best percentage with that more than any of my 20 or my 28, my 12. And I know why it is, because I was very, very, very picky on what I did shoot at. And I was already trying to shoot better and take the shot that I want, not just shoot. And also, and some scoff at this, I was using heavy 12. And I decided when I got that gun, I wasn't going to shoot nothing else. And I've heard people say, and I've read it in magazines too, like maybe not magazines, but I've read it in some like online articles about people saying, these guys, they go down to a 28, but then they're shooting stuff that's $80 a box. What's the point of even, why not just shoot the 12? And I'm thinking, that's not even a fair argument. I don't even know, why would you not want to shoot the best that you can shoot with? Are you less of a duck hunter? Are you less of a shooter because of that? I don't know. And I think at that point, still will work with the 28 gauge. I've watched Harrison do it plenty of times, but you really got to have him close, like really close, and it just don't do the same thing, and you got to headshot him for sure. And that's a challenge. But on that token, it's a challenge to where that is a good possibility. You could cripple that bird and not get him. So I just chose, that's what I chose. So I shot the heavy 12, 3-inch, 6 shots, 1 ounce, going 1350 feet per second. So 1,350 feet per second, and it's lethal. And it's weird because I got some videos coming out early this season from this last year. Actually, I got several. I got a lot of duck hunts. I just didn't get out because I was hunting so much. I didn't have time to edit, and I wasn't going to stress about it this year. That was the best decision I ever made. In fact, that is by far the best duck season, except for the first maybe year or two, where I really enjoyed my season. I enjoyed filming when I did, and it was just GoPro. It's not my favorite to watch, but with these newer GoPros and the settings that I put it on, which is 4K, 60 frames per second, and linear, man, it's just the clarity and the sharpness is like, okay, this ain't that half bad to watch, to be honest. The birds don't look nowhere near as far as they used to in the older GoPros. So anyways, I enjoyed it, and I got some great hunts. Like, I got some awesome surprise. I'm gonna call it a surprise. Some videos coming out that is by far, I have a video coming out that is by far my best ever video I have made. How do I explain this without giving it away? That I've ever duck hunt I've ever had on YouTube, ever. I've had some pretty good ones on, some that get you pumped and get you excited. Like one of our first ones with that banded pintail, that was all pump and hype. This one, this blows that out of the water. Like, it's not even the same. So I'm so glad I had my GoPro on. I'm so excited. I haven't shared pictures. No one knows except my close friends around me. Like, no one knows what happened, what I got, and all that stuff. So I can't wait to show you guys that. But I was using my 28 gauge. And like I said, that thing, I actually had to go from a full choke that I had in there, which is the cryo chokes that it comes with. I had to go from a full down to an improved modified because it was like shooting a dart. I mean, like literally shooting a dart, because I hadn't thought about it at first, but later I'm so used to shooting heavy bismuth that bismuth in general opens up. Man, nose itching. Bismuth opens up pretty quick right out the gate. And so having it choked to full is more like maybe shooting a heavy, an improved modified. Well, I never thought about it, but shooting heavy 12, it's a tungsten alloy. It's not full TSS, but it's 12 grams per cubic centimeter. It's heavy stuff. Whereas heavy bismuth is 9.7, or bismuth in general. So it's basically the difference between steel and bismuth, which is an astronomical difference, is the difference between bismuth and heavy 12. That's insane. That's how deadly and lethal that is. And going from 12, like say if you're shooting 12 to TSS, is actually the difference between shooting steel to heavy 12. Hopefully that everybody caught that. I said that too fast. That's how much or TSS blows away heavy 12. And heavy 12 is deadly. Deadliest stuff I've shot. I've never shot TSS at a duck. I've shot it at turkeys or whatever. But anyways, I had to go. It's hard. Okay, tungsten's super hard. I just read something. I believe they have to heat it up, tungsten, when they melt it down to 6,500 degrees Fahrenheit before it'll even break down and melt. That's unreal. In crazy heat. Whereas bismuth breaks down at 500 degrees or a little over 500 degrees. So anyways, being that it's that hard, it stays tight. It don't come out of the barrel and open up. I mean, it stays where it's at. I would tell you something, I just don't want to because you might think a little less, but I have Harrison and another friend of mine to verify the shot I made of a Drake Mallard on the water, because I had seen, when I shot some, I'd seen how tight that pattern was out on the water prior. Not that same day, but another day, and I was like, oh my goodness. That's what made me switch from a full to an improved modified. I'm like, I mean, I'm hitting stuff and my accuracy is great, but I felt like when I seen it on the water, I was like, okay, I gotta open that up a hair more, because I'm talking like, I felt like I was shooting, like, trying to think of it, something. I mean, I want to say a golf ball. Honestly, that's what it felt like, up to like 30 yards. In fact, this season, here soon, probably with the next month, I'm going to do a video, a pattern test with that gun, with all those chokes, with heavy 12. And it's for myself. I do them, but I know most people are not going to relate because they're either not going to have that gun, and they're definitely might not use that ammo. There are very few people that probably will, but I think I just want to see and show people, like, look at this. Like, this is insane. But anyways, so I went to improved modified, and it definitely helped. I bet you can go to modified and still be crazy tight. But I did that, so I kind of dialed that in. Really like that combo. Is perfect. I was going to put the Pattern Master because they just came out with that choke, the Code Black Duck, and I'm like, well, man, when it works as good as this is working, I really don't want to change it. I mean, it's just nasty. But it's funny. So killing them with the 28 gauge is like, unless it's a headshot, which is instant, like I have some really great kill shots with my 28 gauge on video, videos that haven't been out, some that have already been out, and you guys have seen them, like where I shot those birds with my first 28 gauge limit. I said that video that I did with that on the channel. I can't remember what episode that was, maybe 9 or 10 or something like that. That hen, I water swatted that hen because I didn't feel comfortable making the shot out of it flying off, and I didn't want to cripple it. So I water swatted. I'm going to do an episode of water swatting too, by the way. Be ready for that one. But I really want to have Travis here for that. Maybe even Thomas, or both. But I water swatted that hen. My goodness, I shot her right in the head. I mean, it was a mess. And she was every bit of 20 yards at most. But still, that was enough distance. My goodness. It mangled her head. That was still when it was the full choke. But after that, I mean, everything I shot, say if it was 20, 30 yards with that 28 gauge, that wasn't even an issue. Wasn't even a phase. But like if you shot him in the body, it'd be kind of weird. I have it on video where two actually, Drake Mallards come in, and they're crossing. They actually start crossing because it looks like they're going to set down. And I might have jumped up. I think they were just kind of working down, trying to figure out where they wanted. He was Thule level in front of me, and he was kind of working his way in. And I stood up, and he like flared out. I might have should have waited another 5 seconds. I didn't really know what he was doing. I thought he was kind of turning already. But anyways, when I shot him, I can't remember if I hit him on the first one or not. I don't think I did. I did on the second, and then the third, he went down. And he looked like he was crippled. I was like, God, you idiot, dude, what are you thinking? And I sent Rocky. I kind of took a run off. I thought we were going to have to chase the bird, which I wasn't worried about losing it because we have Rocky. I mean, okay, the not even 10 seconds, go around that corner and see where that bird hit the water. He was stone dead. Belly up, stone dead. But he looked like he was wobbling down. So it just shows the pass-through power. I've never found any pellets in the birds with that heavy 12. None with the 20 gauge. It's literally zipping right through them. And I think that's what it is like they look like they're not all the way dead. They hit the water. Because if you shoot them in the head, they're like a sack of potatoes. Another bird I shot that day, he was like 20 yards, 15, 20 yards. Smoked him, and he didn't flinch. And I don't even think I headshot him, honestly. Another one, same thing. I shot him. I missed the first one. The second one, hit him. And he did the same. He didn't like sell. It just kind of like wobbled down. And Thomas and Travis are in the background saying, "Oh, you smoked him." I'm like, "No, I think he's still alive." Rocky goes around the corner because he's seen him fall, comes back, stone dead. Stone dead. So it just shows the power of that tungsten. I mean, bismuth, we already know, and we brag about all the time how it's like that. It just passes through them. People saying they find pieces of their pellets in the birds. I'm not going to say never because that's just a strong word. I cannot recall any time I found any heavy bismuth in my birds when I'm cleaning them out. So, in fact, I've seen a shattered bone. You could see where it passed through, and the bones were like say the breastbone was like split out, if that makes sense. Like where you could see where it went in and out. So, and another thing is, guys are still stuck. I don't understand it on heavy bismuth. I see it all the time, like say on Instagram or Facebook, and it's like guys are saying, I shoot heavy, bismuth or Boss or heavy bismuth or whatever brand they're shooting. Geese gotta be 2s, gotta be 4s. That's fine. That's what you want to use, whatever. It's not far off. Like, you can use 2 to 3 shot sizes up when you're using bismuth. I don't understand why guys, I don't want to word like that. I've already been called self-righteous. That's not what I'm meaning when I'm saying this. It's just how I am about it. Because once I know something works so good, I don't see the point. And it really doesn't matter. If you use 2s, use 6s like I do, it doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, if you're shooting a 12 gauge, you can use 3-inch 6-shot from a till to a northeastern 3-inch down thick honker. I'm just telling you, okay? You could argue. I don't even care. This is my podcast. I'll say what I want. Because I've told guys, you're full of it. You don't know what these eastern geese in the cold regions are like. I've been in some pretty cold places. I've been in northern Wisconsin and the stuff. And I've been in other states when it's -5 and I've hunted. And I'm just telling you, I will put that up against anybody. I honestly will. Because I know it will crush birds. Crush them. And it don't just have to be a headshot either. I'm talking large honkers. So, anyways, if you're interested in doing that and you're having a hard time finding 1s or 2s or 3s and you're shooting bismuth, you'll be just fine with 6s, I promise you. Trust me. Try it. Just try a whole box out and let me know. Now, that being said, going back to saying from teal to honkers, I really don't want to be shooting bismuth at teal, to be honest with you, because of the cost. And what I do is, I know not everybody has this ability to do, and I get it. Trust me, I totally get it. In fact, my ammo stack is getting a little depleted, but I like if I'm going to refuge where it's going to be Pintail, widgeon, teal, just whatever, just that grassland special up north, even all those refuges. I use heavy metal. I really just save my bismuth for mallard specific hunts personally. And it's just because they're such a hardy, tough bird. To me, they're one of the toughest birds up next to a honker. They're just tough. Divers are too. Trust me, I know, because I'm not a major big time diver hunter, but I've been on plenty of diver hunts from Wisconsin to California to where else did we go? My mind's shooting a blank. Well, the bay, the coast here, and then I think that's it. Yeah. But I've been, and then some local stuff where there's a lot of divers. They're tough. I will tell you that. Man, they're tough. You can smack those birds, and they'll dive on you and swim 2 miles before you can shake a stick. So, I guess I probably should end this pretty soon. I don't want to drag this one out being solo. I don't like trying to yak and yak and yak. But anyways, got off on ammo. I guess it's always just one of my things, my rants. I don't know why. But 28 gauge, I loved it. I shot good with it. I liked the gun. Had to downgrade the choke because it didn't need it that tight. I don't think I never had no issues with it. It got really dirty one time. And I don't know how a bunch of dirt got in there. I don't know if I just kicked it over. I don't know what happened. But it started not, what did it do? It didn't work, but like loading a shell in the bottom, like say a third shell was like real tight. And when I would clean that out, like shake it and got all that out of there, it was fine. So it's just self-inflicted pain at that point. But man, yeah, I can't think of anything. Oh, and then the point of aim. Like, it's weird because, I mean, wherever you put that red dot, that's where it's killing. Whereas my A5, I put that bigger bead on it because it helps me drop, because my A5 at least shoots high. Or at least that's where I miss, in my aiming. But no, that 28, man, it's right where you point it. And if you don't know, I have the Benelli Ethos Cordoba Best 28 gauge, 28-inch barrel. So, yeah. Man, I was going to get into another one. I hate to even dive into this one. Let me just say real quickly, give me 4 more minutes. I'm watching the clock. One of the things that people requested, and we're going to be answering all you guys that were on Instagram saying what you would like to hear and guests you'd like to have. I'm getting that stuff lined up right now. Pintail limit. I have heard that they've even talked about, and I don't think this is true, but I have heard this from someone local that is in a position that definitely knows what they're talking about, said it's possible that they may take the Pintail out of not being shot at all next season. I have a really hard time believing that. That's major rumor mill. But the person that said it would not just say something like that. I'm really shocked. I don't know where they got that information from. I have to believe them because I know they know what they're talking about. He might have just meant it's a rumor. So I don't know. I has to, because here's the thing, and the reason I brought this up in this episode is people were talking about the Pintail limits. Then I put a post down on Instagram, Facebook, talking about how many have you seen. Obviously, people that are in the Midwest, back east, up north, central, wherever you're at, you're probably not seeing them like we do on the West Coast, okay? I'm just telling you right now, you can ask any of my buddies that hunt all of California and even up north too as well, out of state, Oregon, Washington. It's infested with pintails. From basically, I feel like beginning to December on, you are just like, is there anything but pintails? Anything. I'll say 90% of everybody listening to hunts in California can agree and attest to the same thing. Pintails out the wazoo. And, it's mainly drakes. It's like you get a pack of 10 drakes. It's like one hen with them, maybe 2 at the most. I mean, we're overrun with them. So what's a little frustrating to me, I'm not going to say I don't understand it, because I know there's reasonings behind all that stuff. I don't fully understand all the reasoning. But I'll just say this. It's frustrating that different limits, ducks are federal birds, right? So are geese. Waterfowl is federal. They're federally mandated. What's frustrating to me is that each state can have its own limit, and also for your bag, and also limit for the bird specific. So some states, the limit's 4. A lot of states are the limit's 6. You can shoot 5 mallards and 1 bonus duck. All these things. And then, okay, whatever. They set these parameters for each bird. Why are they not saying, okay, California can shoot 2 pintails, whatever, and other states will keep it at 1 or whatever they want to do. Because I know there's some states you never see them. You just never have seen them. Somebody recently from Iowa or Indiana said never seen them. I get that. But like for here or, Washington, Oregon, California, why are we not making this 2 years ago they were saying, before COVID, they were like 3 years ago now, I guess. Before COVID, they were like, oh, we're going to bump up the numbers to possibly, I heard this and straight from a biologist say 3 to 4 birds, 3 to 4 pintails. I'm like, man, we're not asking to shoot 3 or 4 pintails. I think 2 is a great stopping point. Leave it there. Just leave it at 2. I don't know. They're just such a majestic bird. I feel like you'd almost feel bad for shooting more than 2. If that's the limit, would I shoot 3? Yeah, I would. It just seems weird because it's always been so pushed down. But I don't think you should ever come from a cutback and just blow right through a prior limit, which was 2, and make it 3. But hey, whatever. I'm not the biologist here, but it is frustrating because we keep hearing the same excuse. The bird numbers. We haven't been able to do our counts. Dude, I'll do my count for you. You can talk to everybody on every California refuge, and they can tell you some of the Sac Valley refuges. In January, you'll go there. You ain't seeing nothing but pintails. Nothing. You are not seeing any birds but pintails. You basically you could go there and trophy hunt. You can go up there and you can say, okay, no, pin's too short. Pin's too short. You can get them in so close, you can see if they have leg bands. My goodness. And I'm not exaggerating. You can do that. That's how many pintails there are. And it just gets more and more every season since they've cut it back to 1. It's like, I just almost forgot what it was like to shoot 2 pintails. Again, it's not because I just got to shoot 2 pintails. I'm basing it off the number that you see and how ridiculous it is, how thick they are. It's great. And I shouldn't say ridiculous. I mean, it's a good thing, right? But I never thought it should have left 2 in the first place. Again, what do I know? But maybe someone out there is listening. This is a voice of one crying in the wilderness. It's like, man, okay, I've already went 4 minutes past what I said I would. So I'm going to end it there. The numbers are insane with the pintails. They're everywhere. They're thick. Thank goodness. So glad to see it. Just great birds. One of my favorite birds. They're just beautiful. Best eating too, in my opinion. Wood duck and pintail. I really think pintail almost has a wood duck beat, but wood duck's pretty good. So anyways, that is the update right now. What's going on? I'm closing this episode out right now. We're going to talk about Thomas and I getting hit with that goose. We're going to do that hunt. We're going to do an episode on water swatting. We're going to do a hunt with John, one of the young bucks. Love to hunt with, great guy. John Teeney. He's coming on. We're going to talk about our hunt. We had to do a bunch of hunt reviews. Harrison's going to come on. We're going to talk about when we both shot our bands, that whole story. Insane. Like to get Nathaniel on, talk about the spoonie hunt that we had where we shot 14 Drake spoonies, and there's a huge story behind that. Also coming up, the hunt recap with my pastor. That might just be me and Travis. He hasn't been feeling very good lately. He's got allergies really bad, and if I can, I'll do it. But if not, I still think it'd be really good for me and Travis need to tell those stories that happened on that trip. It was crazy. And then also get my wife back on here because it's off season. And also, I did a lot of mission trips back in the day when I was a young buck. And I got some insane stories. I never even thought about sharing those on here. I'm sure you guys would really be interested in hearing those. Haiti, Mexico. So I'm definitely going to share those on here and start doing some more military stuff too as well and try to get some guests. I have people in mind for military. Just getting them on here takes a lot of communication, a lot of timing, things to line up. It's a lot tougher than you think it is, but man, it's so worth it when you get guests on here. So anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for all your support, and we'll see you guys on the next one.